Letitia Marsh. I am a community pharmacist in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I have a YouTube page I just started that's called Ask Pharmacist Tish, where I speak about the disparities of basically almost everything, but right now I'm focused on homelessness and the importance of bringing that to the forefront of Charlotte.
So, can you tell me about your journey to becoming a community pharmacist?
I started when I was 16 years old. I'm from Georgetown, South Carolina. So it's a very small town. So I figured my only options for a summer job were to do like Burger King or beg to work at the local Eckerd pharmacy at the time. So they gave me a shot and I just kind of stuck with it. I'm just a loyal person, so stuck with it. Yeah, so I went started that as a pharmacist technician at 16 years old. Then I went to a couple of different colleges, ended up at Medical University of South Carolina, where I got my degree in pharmacy, and I've been doing it for over 20 years now.
Wow, that's impressive.
Thanks.
So, mental illness is very important to me, as in 2019, I got diagnosed with bipolar disorder too. And, with my treatment is medication. So how important is understanding the right medication for mental health?
It's really everything. Like there are so many solutions, but mental health is such a delicate matter because you're dealing with the mind. And I've seen so many people, their blood pressures are jacked up, their other disease states are out of check because they don't take care of the mental health. A lot of times, if you take care of your mental health, then you can control your blood pressure, you can keep everything at bay. But the medications there, a lot of people just feel like, well, I feel better now, so why keep taking it? Or why even take medications in the first place? I'm not crazy, I don't need it. But it's just like having diabetes. You need medications to control your diabetes. You need medications to control your high blood pressure. So why not have medications to control like the bipolar, to control the ADHD, to control the anxiety, the depression, this, just random generalized stress? Why not? And it helps. It really helps and increases your value, your quality of life. It's absolutely amazing. But a lot of people, because of the stigma, they don't want to go forward or keep going with the medications. And that's so important to know that medications are your friend. They're not to destroy your life, they're to increase your quality of life.
So how important is it to you to, make a difference in your community and, especially with your YouTube channel, let people know, about the stigma, changing it, and, helping people with mental health issues?
I mean, it's so important to me because we've all gone through things in our life. We all have. I've gone through like major life events with my health, and it just spiraled into some mental health factors that were probably already there, that it probably just magnified because of life circumstances. It's so important for people to know. It's very important. It's really hard to say.
No, it's true. And then what you're doing is, I watched a lot of your videos on YouTube, and what you're doing with the homeless, one, just asking about their lives is big, but with homeless and mental health, there's a big, there's a lot of issues there. Yeah. But how is it for you to help them and then, give them knowledge?
You're right. Yeah. Because, fentanyl, that's like a really big thing now, referring to the addiction factor. And a lot of times, when you have trauma, I didn't know how much childhood trauma really plays into the lives of people and how it can just ruin your life as an adult. And it can cause the addictions. It can cause, just to be homeless. Some people just can't pull it together. I see a lot of judgment, and even at one point in my life, maybe I'm like, oh, I'll get a job or whatnot. But when you really take the time to look at people, look at that one person and wonder, what have they gone through in life? No one wants to be homeless. No one wants to live that lifestyle. And when you put yourself in their shoes, you really want to dig in on, okay, how can this problem be solved? So it's just it's so important to bring awareness. I tell them, okay, let's be real. I know you're doing the drugs. I know you have the addiction, but do you know about that fentanyl? Do you not know that it only takes a dust of fentanyl to like take your life away? Do you know that? So I bring awareness in that. And I also call it the Mary and Martha's, thing where in the Bible where, you have your Mary, your Martha, you have your Mary that's, doing all, the talking and getting to know Jesus. But, Martha, she's like upset because she's doing all the work. In other words, it's just good to just listen to people. People just want to be heard. And you can find out a lot of solutions if you just take the time to listen and not assume what they want, but they hear what they want. So, I mean, I really learned that. I was assuming maybe they need food, maybe needed this, they need that. But no, really, they really just need someone to help pull their life together. They really just need like mental health therapy and someone to kind of help them navigate the little things that we find to be little, like just getting an ID. Like having an ID is no big deal to you, right? To a homeless person, that's everything. They can't get anything accomplished without their ID. So it just helps out to just pull, just to bring awareness and to them and to the public. So it's very important.
I like that what you said of, just talking to them, which, and understanding where they're coming from, and then you
Right.
can help just listen, that goes a long way.
It does.
So what motivates you?
I'm nosy. I'm a naturally nosy person. I mean, when I'm asking those questions on my As Pharmacist Tish YouTube channel, I don't have questions written down. I literally want to know those answers for myself. Like I'm zoned in, and y'all don't understand. There's so much craziness going on in the background. It's there's a place called the Wall, and it's just so much. But I'm zoned in. I'm still kind of trying to be aware of my surroundings and stuff like that. Or they want to talk to me, but it's just so important to be zoned in and just ask those questions. I'm nosy. I am a naturally compassionate person. I am a community servant. I'm a pharmacist, so I'm so used to doing it anyway and getting paid for it, from a pharmacy aspect. But I want to do things on my own and really take care of, I love giving out medications and stuff like that. But what about the people who can't afford their medications? I mean, we just take so many things for granted in the United States, and Charlotte is so beautiful. But then there's this other sector of a disconnect, and it can really be pulled together, but it's just so deep. And it's just like an ocean of what is going on, how to even chip away at it. But I don't know. I just love people. I genuinely love people. I love sharing information, and I'm genuinely interested in what people have to say, even if I don't know them. Like I want to ask you all your questions, but that's for another time.
I'm not that interesting, so.
When you say you're experienced bipolar,
Yes.
yeah. So when we have bipolar, we're very interesting. We're very interesting.
Well, part of that is, the no fear aspect is
Right.
why I created a TV station. So
Right, exactly. But you need that drive. But like
yes.
Angelina Jolie would say, as long as you keep everything in its proper place, you can rule the world. But everything is all about keeping it in its place and keeping it harnessed. But yes, I understand where you're coming from. So, but you're doing amazing things.
Thank you. But that's a good point of, you know, what Angelina Jolie said, but how tough is it with people who can't get the proper medication?
Yeah, it's impossible. I mean, I have this one gentleman, Mr. Willie. I refer to him as the Birdman, and he is so naturally funny. He's genuinely a comedic person, but it's so sad to see how that schizophrenia, which he's told me, so it's not hip or anything. How it just clicks in, and how do someone like that, how do they stay on medications? How they have no structure, their mind is just all over the place. So all you can really do is just talk with them and try to bring them back to normalcy. because a lot of times the lines are blurred, what's, normal, what's not normal, and, what's reality, what's not reality. So I'm just, just talking with him, he actually falls into line and can have a really good conversation. It gets a little weird at times, but still, it's just, I enjoy him so much, and I actually learn from him, so, but it's like I said, Mike, I'm just really finding out how deep of an ocean of homelessness, how it is. This is not about not having a home. It's not about that. It's about that childhood trauma that's been unresolved that leads to addiction, to mask the pain, to escape the pain of that trauma, that leads to not be able to have a cohesive lifestyle, and to the point where you're homeless. It's so I think mental health is the main focus. Like in the literature, they say the lack of housing is the main reason for homelessness, which is true. But what is deeper? What's the under? You can have a house all you want, but if your mental health isn't right, where you can have a cohesive lifestyle, you can lose it. So getting to that mental health is everything, and that's what I'm learning, that how important it is to have your right mind. It's so important, and to be able to maintain it.
Well, you actually make a good point there of what are some of the things you have learned from just talking to the homeless people in Charlotte?
Like I keep saying, that childhood trauma. I'm so glad I had a good childhood. I really did. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but I'm so glad I had, structure. A lot of these people, like if you go and you just look at the channel, like they've been abused in every kind of way, emotional abuse is just every kind of abuse. And that's what I really found out, how blessed we are for the ones who had a normal childhood, and who even are more blessed who went through that childhood trauma and made it out of it. But a lot of people in the middle, they didn't make it out. They couldn't make it out. So that's what I really learned, that childhood trauma leads to adult trauma. So my salute, I've been talking to them for a while, and in Charlotte, they don't need food. Charlotte is excellent when it comes to taking care of the homeless, when it comes to food. They get the showers, they get the clothing. But they really need, like you're saying, they need to really hone in on that mental illness, because that is the foundation of, from what I've seen in Charlotte, of the problem. They can get a house all they want, but if their mind isn't right, if that addiction isn't cured, what's a house when they're gonna lose it in 2 seconds anyway? That's my humble opinion, from being out on the, as I call, the field, and really talking with everyone.
So what led you to create this YouTube channel to help out people and, amplify their voices?
Um, I, being uptown Charlotte, I like to go to Chima's, the Brazilian steakhouse. And I love that. Try to stop. This is too much of a bad, expensive habit. But I'm going to this nice 4 or 5 star restaurant. And then I come out and I'm like looking at these homeless people. And I'm just one, and then they're so kind. And I want to touch on that point of their kindness. But I'm like, how am I to come out of this really nice restaurant and then see this other side where they just, they don't know where they're going to sleep that night. So that always piqued my interest, is that contrast. Also what I've noticed is the kindness. That, a lot of times people think homeless people are very aggressive, or is me, or what can I get? No, they're like a family. I've been giving gifts, like they give me whatever they can. Now, of course, I don't ask for anything, but they want to give. They don't want to just take. They want to give. And that's like one of the main things I've learned. And I've seen them give to each other. Like if they just want a nickel, they all trying to scratch up in their pocket to get a nickel. If they want a bottle of water, they're like, oh, they will go to the store, or, it's just amazing how they all are like a family. No matter what part of town I go to like Sugar Creek area, I go to the Uptown area, I go to what they call the Wall, near urban ministry. And they are so giving. very loving people, very giving. They just need cohesiveness. They need to get that mental health in check to be able to get back to what we call a normal lifestyle and be able to be self-sufficient. But yeah, I'm nosy. I love people. And just like I said, just coming out, uptown Charlotte is all this richness, all these banks. And then here are these people here that they just look at you. And I'm just wondering, what are you thinking? Like, what do you have going on? Like, how did you end up here? But you still feel with joy, you still smiling, you still give me a little wave and stuff like that. What makes you, still tick? Well, I'm going home at night and you don't know where you're going to go. So I just piqued my interest and I just wanted to be able to serve. So
What you do is amazing.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And I'm just getting started. I have a new nonprofit. My nonprofit is really, really new. So I'm trying to navigate it, but I don't want to just, like I said, just try to do what I think needs to be done. I want to do what they need done. So that's why I'm right now. I haven't collected any donations or anything. I'm just kind of this like really seeing what the problem is. I really want to get to the problem. And from what you express as well, it's really that mental health. It's not the housing, the lack of affordable housing, which it is, but it doesn't matter if you can't keep yourself mentally right, to have that strength in you to be able to maintain it.
So I'm glad you said it. You're good at segues for me.
Yeah, I can ramble, honey. I'm probably not even answering your question. I probably just answer my own question. I have a little ADHD, so I'm all over the place.
The last thing I want to ask is, where do you want to see yourself and the nonprofit, which is just getting started, in the next 5 years?
My dream would be to move away from, I love pharmacy, I love serving, in that capacity, but I have to do it under someone else's way of doing things. And I want to do it where I feel it's important and do under my own watch. And, a lot of the homeless people, they love what Charlotte is doing. And I've never heard so many people that speak so highly of the people of their town. The homeless people love Charlotte. And the people in Charlotte really do take care of the homeless. But I would like to really dig in more so into the foundational needs. They don't, like I said, they don't need the food, they don't need the clothes or whatever. They really need that mental health. So if I can have my dream would be is to have like a mental health therapist to zone in on, like, sponsor one person at a time and start them from the beginning all the way to the housing. That would be my dream. Take care of their addiction, take care of their mental health, give them resources to, get from that point A to that point housing. So that would be my dream. That's my dream for the nonprofit.
That's amazing. And just talking to you, I know it's going to happen. You're very motivated. So
yeah, I mean, the people, they motivate me. I actually look forward to being with them. I mean, they're like my little family. They'll see me, they'll come to my car and we just talk and they tell me, like, what's up with y'all? And they're like, what's up, it's the wall. I was like, well, I'm pretty sure something else going on today. I don't talk to them like they just have one thing going on, which is just being homeless. It's like, what else you got going on? So, and I always ask in my interviews, what's your game plan? I want them to have hope. When you have life, you still have hope, or vice versa, however that goes. Have hope. I mean, when I go out there, I smell nice, I look nice. I want to inspire the women. You're still a woman, you're still beautiful. I'm saying, let's get out there, let's try to pull it together. What we need to do, ladies, what we need to do, guys, so I mean, I know it sounds like kind of cliche or whatever, but people just need to be heard and they need hope and and a lot of times people just need that extra pulling together for them. I mean, you've probably been at really low points and you probably had someone to help you out. I've been at really low points and I had someone to help me out. Some of these people, they are at really low points. They have nobody to be like, get your butt up, let's go and do this, or how are you feeling? They don't have that. So hopefully at a baseline, way, I just can give them that little bit of, how are you doing? Let's go. What we need to do, okay, let me help you piece, point A to point B or whatever like that. So,
How can people reach out to you?
my email. So I have a YouTube channel called As Pharmacist Tish, and all of my information is on there. I have like a community number. I have a website. I'm not a website, not yet. I have a what do you call it? Email address, and just reach out. If y'all like to help out with the cause, is like I said, I'm still working hard. Okay, so I'm not pressed for the money. I'm so hustling for myself. I mean, so but I really, I love taking things out to them. I even took. I know this is gonna sound weird, but for the ladies, they're like, okay, I like your hair. I say, okay, I could bring you one too. So I take them out wigs, honey. And I came back around and they had on the wigs and they were feeling so much more lively. And they like, look, I got my wig on. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And you feel better. When you feel better, that gives you more hope to be like, okay, what's the next step in life? So hopefully this, just little things, just the little things, give the ladies little makeup bags, just with little lotions and stuff to put on their hands, just little stuff to bring them back to the normalcy of life, that life is good and it doesn't have to just stay here. You don't have to be stagnant. There are other things going on. So let's pull it together. We can do it.
That's well, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me and what you're doing and sharing your message.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, Mike. I really do appreciate you reaching out, allow me on your platform and to just bring more awareness. And y'all, when y'all see a homeless person, just say hello. I mean, they're really giving. It's not about just give, or what they're going to use the money for or whatnot. I mean, because when they can, they do give. I have the gifts to show it. It's not like anything super amazing. It's not hot or anything, but it's just, I like to be funny too. But it's just, I mean, they will give and they give to each other. I have like this one guy, he carried around literally, he's like, I'll consider him a good friend. He carried around a suitcase of clothing and stuff. And whenever someone says, I'm hungry, he pulls out a bag of chips. When they say, I need some more pants, he pull out pants. And this is a homeless person that is serving other homeless people. So it's a lot of love, it's a lot of giving. They just need that extra. And at
Yeah.
times we all need that extra. We have people to back us up, but who do they have? So be that person, be that person to give them that backup, or just that give them that hope. And that would go so far.
Well said. And then with your content and this interview, I'll add a QR code so people
Okay.
can go back to you.
All right, I appreciate that. That'd be great. Yes. Yeah,
So
y'all check
like,
out the content and everything. And some of the stuff is funny, I mean, and it's just life,
yeah,
if because you're homeless, that doesn't mean you're sad and depressed or whatever. It's still, it's still life. They're still funny. I mean, they'll tell me the raw stuff, they tell me the funny stuff, they tell me the hurtful stuff, but it's still their lives, and there is still hope, and they still have that strength in them to want to become back integrated into society and to contribute and give, because they do it on their level, so they definitely will do it on this the main level. So